The Phasouri Marsh is found at the northwestern corner of the peninsula, downstream from the Kouris Dam. The marsh, especially in spring, attracts all kinds of waterbirds and waders. Common among these are herons, egrets, handsome glossy ibises, and noisy spur-winged lapwings. The plumage of the glossy ibises lives up to its name by shining in the sun as they busily go about feeding. These handsome birds nested in Cyprus for the first time in 2010, and the hope is that they may now establish themselves. The cattle egrets, as their name suggests, follow the cattle that graze on the marsh, pouncing on the insects that are disturbed by hooves or the tearing of the turf by the cow's teeth. The appearance of a marsh harrier in the sky above worries and disturbs the feeding birds, and they fly off to land further down in the marsh. A squacko heron keeps an eye on a flock of herons coming down to add to the feeding throng at the marsh. The braying of the local donkey seems to startle the feeding birds, at least momentarily. But the squacko heron is soon busy feasting on tadpoles again, its favourite food. The plumes on this bird show that it is in breeding plumage. A bit further down, a little egret is also busy feeding to build up its reserves on this important stopover in its migration journey. This bird too is in breeding plumage, as shown by the plumes on its head. A great reed warbler snatches a red dragonfly in mid-air. The marsh is a key staging and refueling post for this outsize warbler. The marsh also plays host to some rare plants, some of which are only to be found here. A small flock of yellow wagtails busily seeks out insects disturbed by the hooves of the grazing cattle. These striking wagtails visit Cyprus in their thousands during their migration journeys in both spring and autumn. A bit further down, a hoopoe searches for worms and ants, while always keeping a wary watch for the marsh harriers that glide in low over the reed beds. In the fields around the marsh, one is bound to hear the distinctive trumpeting call of the black francolin. With a bit of luck, the handsome male can even be seen, calling from some raised perch in a bid to attract the more secretive female.